Hi there, folks. Simmon here with another Intermediate Invitational Tournament match. This time, the Game 4 between ManaT and gowellja. ManaT in white and gowellja in black. This is part of the 4-game series in this semifinals match. Whoever wins this 4-game series does go on to the finals and plays Pluto the Brave. If they split 2 games to 2 games in this 4-game series, they will play a tiebreaker game, which is shorter time controls and with 3 Comey to black. And they will decide between themselves who gets what color, and if they can't agree on that, then they will flip a coin and pick a random color. But let's not get into that now. We don't even know if that's going to happen yet. So let's get right into Game 4 of this semifinals match. Here we go with Game 4 of ManaT versus gowellja. ManaT in white, gowellja in black. Going for those adjacent corners this time, out of character for gowellja. Going for that mirrored opening that we see so often. Slightly different black coming out with this capstone much earlier. Normally we see a placement at C4 first before that capstone drops. So not your standard mirrored opening that we talked about in the openings video of TAC University. Now it looks like they're building around, white's building around this capstone, which I find a little interesting. Black's position I kind of like a little bit more here, surprisingly enough, but probably just because there's that capstone right in the mix of everything. White is going to want to drop that capstone, does drop it here. Solid capstone placement from white. It's in a really solid spot. Follows a lot of the guidelines that we talk about in those capstones video from TAC University. All right, now black trying to come up with some way to salvage this. White may decide to go in for a capture C2 to the right, start building for this vertical threat here. At first I thought white was probably going to go for a horizontal one, and it looks like they're building instead at F2, which is smart because that builds towards both directions. And black's going to have to figure out some way to cut those off. If black decides to come down onto E2, white can come over and start going for that vertical. Now, black going up ahead for this vertical threat themselves, capturing over from D2 to the right, would create that more vertical line here. But I do believe that white has momentum here. So white is going to make that capture with the capstone over onto C2, going in that vertical direction and horizontal direction, though the vertical direction will be the direction in which he has momentum. So ManaT, I'd say, is definitely in the lead here and definitely in control, driving this game. All right, so gowellja taking his time here, trying to recover from his previous game that just ended mere moments ago, and due to a missed threat, and so he is really trying to combat that likely feeling of dread that he may lose this. So now we see white building along for the horizontal line, trying to go for that horizontal direction now that that wall has dropped, ready to cut off the vertical direction. Now, the wall being dropped here is not a bad play. It does cut that off. Black decides to cut that off more. And now if white continues, black can bring this capstone down and cut that area off. Now I imagine white's going to fill in here at E3 as that goes again towards that horizontal road, but also builds towards the vertical road yet again. E3 does feel like the strongest move here, but again, I am not omniscient, so I don't know what would be. So he is playing up here at F5, which is a strangely defensive move for someone who has the momentum as he does. And allows black to build here, going for that connection. So probably an E5 here after that move at F5 would hold black off, keep him from going for that vertical road threat even more. That sounds like that would be the move to make here. And he does go for that at e5. Now he could be setting up also for a horizontal threat in this direction, playing along these edges here, being able to throw that capstone up and smash that wall would be viable. Instead, we see black playing off to this side, really going to stake all of his being, apparently, onto this vertical threat, which is why he's building off here to the d5. He wants to capture over, be able to capture onto f5 with maybe a connection to f6 or, yeah, a number of different options. White does bring up for that smash. Interesting, because it does give black momentum here going in that horizontal direction. But smashing this also does allow white to leave behind a white flat and capture onto this, be able to liberate some more captives. And coming down here with this capstone stack, able to liberate those captives in that direction for a vertical tag threat. Or continue building down below or off to the side for a horizontal threat. A lot of options here for white. Black coming on up with a self-capture, I believe. Yes, it was a self-capture to continue this horizontal line for black. Although I can't imagine white is going to leave this stack here with it being so juicy. I imagine he's going to come down, leaving a white flat behind, and does capture. That is exactly what he does. Going for this horizontal line now. Black probably wants to fill in here at e2. That makes the most sense for me because he's got this stack here and he's able to toss it up and spread. And spreading, it can be an offensive move, but also defensive, cutting off this horizontal line of white and vertical line as well, and picking up that +3 flat move. And a +3 flat move is from flat count differential. We talk all about that in the flat count differential video in the TAC University series. It looks like he is playing up here at e6. Going for that vertical threat. Black is in trouble here. White is dominating this game pretty heavily. I imagine white will want to be playing maybe for horizontal after this vertical gets blocked. Black may decide to build up here towards c5, maybe go for that horizontal threat themselves after making a capstone spread up in the northern direction. That would connect f4 over here, over in that direction. Maybe worth it. White does still have momentum here, does make the spread initially instead of playing here first, goes for that spread. This is where I think white has a number of options to continue. Black wants to play here at e3. But if black does do that, then white can make that +3 flat count differential move also and cover those up. White really wants to win this game, really wants to move on to the finals. If he can win with a road here, he will be right on through playing Pluto the Brave at our next game. If not, if he does lose this game, that means they will have split this match 2 games to 2 games. And we will have to go into a tiebreaker game where they will play with an even shorter time on their clocks with 10 minutes and a 5-second increment as opposed to a 15-minute with a 10-second increment. Additionally, since it is 1 game, black will be getting 3 Comey, and they will decide amongst themselves who gets what color. And if they can't agree on that, then they'll flip a coin and whoever gets whatever color gets whatever color. So that would be interesting and exciting. We did see that that happened with the Pluto the Brave versus Asarik match. They did go to tiebreakers. So it looks like white is building here at e3, cutting off black's opportunity to build there himself. White's going to build there now. Go for, looks like a horizontal line, capturing up with f2 onto this here, going for that direction. also denying black the ability to play there at e3, which is just as important as building your own threats in some cases. Okay, black now building here off to the side, up at d6, making that anchor point on this edge of the board. So this is a tack threat. Moving e3 to the left, or f3 to the left, would be a road for black. Not the easiest to see, but definitely there. I'm assuming ManaT is going to see that and has something in mind here. Could decide to capture here onto e4, could make a capture down. I like a capture down here with e3 minus. That's actually not too bad in my head. Does make that e3 minus capture. Going for that horizontal direction. Black, if he wants to bring this capstone down and capture, he can, but he's going to be leaving behind white flats here. Not great. So, black wants to do something, maybe a wall here, maybe a wall here, likely a wall at d2, wants to be able to capture over onto this spot, and a wall here would sort of cut off any sort of threat that white is building, because, I say sort of, because a wall here, and then if white builds a flat at a2, then it would still be able to crush that wall, but instead builds the wall here at e3, does not want the capstone to be able to come down and crush that. So the wall is at e3. What is white's response going to be here? I could see... That is a good question. I could see white maybe building here at d2, or maybe bringing the capstone down to d2, ready to smash that wall on the next turn. Does decide to play at d2, making that tack threat, forcing that wall to come down. Now, black is in a position where he can, on the next turn, build e3, but he can't anymore now that white has walled that off. Now, black may decide to make a positive flat count differential move. This would be a +3 move, I believe. Yeah, +3 move, moving across to the left with this wall stack. Instead, black's probably going to go for a more offensive move. Play over here at c5, going in that horizontal direction, building off from f4 and on. Does decide to play at c6 instead. I liked c5 a little bit more, but c6 also works. I think c5 would have been stronger. But white playing up here at b6, not going to give him any time to prepare that threat. Just going to be building there. Also, potentially going to use that defensive stone to build down below for a connection in the vertical direction there. Okay, what are we looking at now? We got black building here at b5, cutting off that direction here. Black may decide to build at a5, get that anchor point here. Now it is a tack threat for black yet again, playing in this spot at c5. We may see a wall drop from white here at c5. And let's take a look at the flat count here to see what we're looking at. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for black. So black is up on flat count, and black has a +3 flat count move pretty soon. So I'd say black is now in the lead here, has decided to take control, makes that capture. That's a dangerous move because now black is probably going to place here at c5 or make that capture. If he does make the capture with f4 plus, that will be renewing that tack threat, and white will have to respond in some way, likely by capturing here onto d5 with either this flat or the capstone stack being spread out above. That would be another way to do that. Or capturing down, capturing down, capturing down on those would work. Yeah, capturing on these. Decides to play here instead. Interesting move there. I think we may see this wall stack move over to the right onto f4. And if the whole stack moves, no, doesn't go for that. Makes the capstone spread. Okay. All right, what is white planning here? Doesn't have too much to go for. Neither player really has a lot of opportunities for a road. I imagine black is going to play here at f6 to renew that tack threat. White may decide to come across with e6 to the left. Hard to say. Both players pretty even on time, 11.5 minutes to 11 minutes here. Black does play there in f6, ready to come up with the capstone for that tack threat, or for the road rather, since this is a tack threat. White's going to have to respond in some way, and it's going to have to be a capture. Black forcing a capture out of white here. What should he do? Playing e6 left makes a lot of sense here. Would f5 plus also work? I think it would. E6 right is not a good move, but it does delay it for a move, but it doesn't, I think that might end very poorly if he did that. So it does go for the e6 left move, cutting that threat off. And then we see the big throw, that spreading of that stack. Moving across is that +3 move that I was talking about earlier for black. Really, really going to town on those flat count differential moves right now. So it looks like white's now building for this vertical tack threat. Building up, filling in where black left off. Going in this direction here, connecting up to d6. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for white. So black is up in terms of flat count. How will black respond here is the question. Black does have a little bit of leeway, can place a wall somewhere. Likely here. Though if the wall does drop here at d3, white can still place at e3 for a tack threat. Black dropping a wall instead up here at e6, ready to come over and capture onto d6. And white wants nothing to do with that, moves that stack out of the way. Going to potentially force that another wall to drop here at d6, or for that wall to move. Likely another wall dropping. No, instead goes for a flat drop there. Okay. A flat does make this c6 a win in terms of a capture war for black. If black comes over with d6, and then white comes back over with b6, and then black comes up with c5, then black wins that big stack, which would be pretty strong for black. So did see that capture war going his way, decides to play that flat there. White coming over with the capstone, denying a capture war win for black. What this also does is this sort of pins this capstone here. The capstone cannot smash this wall because it would lead to a road here. Black coming over with that wall, ready to come over onto c6 and liberate those captives. How could that work? Okay, so white doesn't want black to move that up there because white smashing that would lead to likely this capstone moving across and capturing this big stack with a hard capstone and threatening a road in that direction, which would only be able to be stopped by b6 down or a6 down. Decides to prematurely capture this to keep it out of the hands of black. Probably a smart move here. And it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It looks like the flat count is only barely in black's favor now, making up a little bit of room. Except now it is much more in black's favor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now it's +3 for black. It's a tough spot to be in for white. White is going to have to come up with some way to both stop black's threats here, because he's got them kind of going in two directions, mainly this horizontal one. White needs to get more flats on the board, but also make up some flat count moves. One of the ways that white can do that is by moving this stack over to the right onto f4 and then being able to capture down onto f3 to liberate those captives. Would give potentially an opportunity for black to make up those captives again, but it is a tough position to be in for white right now. White deciding to play here at c5 to get a flat on the board and also to cut off this threat from black that he is building towards. We may see black decide to build up here at e6. And they're both pretty even in terms of flats, in terms of reserves. How many flats they each have in reserve. Black is building here at e6. That means on his next turn, he can make that attack threat by placing at c4. Black is in a good position here. It looks like this may go to the tiebreaker. Let's see, gowellja trying to determine how to combat that. Likely with a flat here at c4. I can't imagine he'd do anything else. Does go for that. Will this white wall at d6 move down? No, the capstone does. Okay. I can see that now. Capstone moves down into a self-capture position. This is actually pretty nice because the wall can come down on the next turn maybe, or maybe one of these flats, and then this capstone stack can move down and make a positive, a +3 flat count differential move. But he's got to do something first about this threat, because if he does make that +3 move, black will just fill in here and get a road. So up here, that is a tough spot. Ooh, that was a little laggy. All right. So black now trying to figure out how to combat this, because this was not in his game plan, I imagine. Black would probably do well to maybe play a flat here at e3. Go for this vertical direction and get more flats on the board. Try to end this game quicker. Because again, the game does end when one person runs out of flats. And when you are ahead in flat count, you want to get those reserves down and get those flats on the board. Does decide to play here at d3 instead of e3, which I find interesting and don't completely understand. I guess the idea is that playing at e3 would allow this wall to come down for a move, a positive flat count differential move. And that's not something you want. Okay. What will white do now? White likely wants to eventually smash this stack, but won't be able to do that anytime soon without giving a road to black. White is playing here at A2. Okay, looks like he's building towards a smash eventually. Wants to play here at D1, but I can't imagine black is going to take that. Black playing at D1 now, keeping that from happening. Also building kind of towards a vertical, kind of towards a horizontal threat here. Let's see if... Yeah, that's not going to work. I'm trying to think. Because if he made a play like this wall coming down and then smash, that would still be a road for black going in the vertical direction instead of the horizontal. Black's in a really strong position here. White's got to do something to even the playing field. What that would be is something I'm not aware of. Let's see. I imagine black on his next turn is going to want to play here at b4. Oh, white decided to play at d6 minus, brings that wall down. Now is where I think black is going to play here at b4. No, plays at e3 instead. Still a horizontal tack threat in this direction. White needs to do something here to stop that. Can bring this capstone down for that move. Now that this wall is here, that is viable. Still can't smash this stack, though. That would lead to a loss. There might be a way to do it, actually. Let's see. He leaves behind one black, no, yeah, I think it would still be a loss. White moving this wall stack down to cut that road off. Also, that's a +2 flat count differential move here. Working his way, trying to get that flat count score back. Let's take a look here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for black. Still a +3 FCD game. FCD being flat count differential. Black coming down for the smash. That is that Tinue? I believe that's Tinue. Yeah, so black coming up with that stack would be a road. And black placing here at b4. The only linchpin stone is this one at d3. White can't touch that. That is Tinue. Well played, gowellja. That was awesome. Great move there. Playing in that spot. Let's see. Yeah. Unfortunately, ManaT kind of gave that to him there with that stack. But that was really well played. Excellent play from both players. But really well done to gowellja. ManaT's probably trying to see, is there anything I can do to stop both of these threats? And he's probably coming to the conclusion right now, he cannot. So this game goes to gowellja, unless I'm missing something entirely. And I don't think I am here. This game goes to gowellja, and that means they will be playing a tiebreaker match. A tiebreaker game, sorry, to see who goes on to the finals to play Pluto the Brave. And white makes that desperation move that really doesn't do anything. Now black can win in a number of different ways. Probably like 4 ways now. And so black's taking that win here on the next turn. Really well done, really well played to both players for sure. Does decide to spread that stack out for the win. Well done. Okay. That is all for today, and that does mean that ManaT and gowellja will be playing a final tiebreaker game to see who plays against Pluto the Brave in the finals. Anyway, again, that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out the description at the bottom of this video to see all the TAC resources that we have available to us, including the playtac.com website where you can play folks online. Also, the rules for the game so you can learn it. Check out the videos on my channel for how to play TAC. Check out the subreddit. Especially check out the TAC Discord server, which is the community hub. It's where everybody goes to talk about TAC, find players to play with, where we organize all these tournaments and everything. It's all on that TAC Discord. That is the place to be. If you're unfamiliar with Discord, Discord is a audio and text chatting web application and mobile application, and it's super easy to use, doesn't cost a thing, and you don't even have to download anything if you don't want to. Thanks for checking it out, thanks for watching, and until next time, have a great day and happy tacking.